know the last 2 episodes of the first season come out later today, right? Might have wanted to wait a few hours.
You know, that's not a bad idea, actually. Alright, bet you didn't see this coming, did ya? Yeah, truth be told, I was just going to release that one video and be done with it, but let's just say, you've all persuaded me in a different way. Now, keep in mind, I'm working with the assumption that everyone has already seen the pilot and previous episodes. If you want to see my thoughts on the show as a whole, then you can watch my initial video on it. It was made when there were only 6 episodes available, but the majority of the opinions in that video have not changed following these 2 final releases. And away we go. Now, to summarize it as briefly as possible, Episode 7 focuses mainly on tying up loose ends on any ongoing plot points and drama, while Episode 8 was really just rule of cool action with a little bit of foreshadowing for what's to come. And it was fine for what it was. I thought there were a lot of interesting matchups, and as lame as Adam's death kind of was, it's not so big of a deal that I'd throw a hissy fit about it. No, a lot of my problems stem primarily from Episode 7, which I thought had a lot of stupid moments. And yes, I do not mean questionable, weird, disappointing, or any other half-assed words to disguise criticism. I mean some of the things that happened were just straight up retarded. After Alistair tells Charlie that Carmilla knows how to kill an angel, she sends Vaggie off to talk to her so that they can find out how they'll be able to stop Adam and his army of exorcists. Speaking of exorcists, I actually got a couple of comments on the last video that didn't seem to agree with my evaluation of the situation.
Well, turns out one of your biggest problems, turning every angel into an asshole, was addressed in Episode 6. No, the only blatantly a-hole angels in heaven are Adam and by proxy Luke. That's why I think you should have at least seen Episode 5 and 6, or waited till tomorrow to actually see how the series concludes.
Actually, buddy, it was literally only one angel who wasn't an asshole, and that was Emily, who was very clearly meant to just be the other side's equivalent to Charlie. Sarah, although not blatantly hostile, clearly still holds a good deal of disdain and disgust for demons, enough to at least turn a blind eye to a mass slaughtering of their numbers, and before you say anything, she clearly says here that she only regrets allowing Adam to carry out the exterminations because it was starting to bite them in the ass, not because she felt bad. Whether or not that's gonna change in the future, we have yet to see. As for the other angels in the court, they might not have known about the exterminations, but they spent the entire time in court passive-aggressively looking down on Charlie and Vaggie. Additionally, even after Adam accidentally spills the beans about what they've been doing behind closed doors, absolutely no one besides Emily really says anything against it. No one spoke out, no one seemed particularly repulsed, and the show gave no indication that this information getting out had any effect on Heaven's community. So no, Episode 6 did not fix the angels being one-dimensional antagonist problems, just like how it did not fix how stupid the overpopulation angle is. Oh, but just because the other angels didn't say anything doesn't mean they agree with what Adam is doing. Oh, so now all of a sudden silence is not endorsement.
The whole, but demons kill each other already, why exterminate them, makes me think, do you not know that sinners are immortal? The only way for them to die is through angelic weapons.
Alright, so for this comment, I will own up to my mistake like a man and admit that I was in fact wrong. I mean, hey, the show never really once explained on screen that sinners can only die through holy weapons, but no, it was clearly my fault for not going deeper into the wiki to find out this information. Anyway, I'm just gonna ignore this little scene in the pilot right here.
Huh? Oh, I'm alive! I'm alive!
Oh, come on, it was one little scene and it was in the pilot, you're just nitpicking. You know what? Yeah, you're right. I'm clearly just being unreasonable and stubborn here. Plus, it was only that one time, right? So no big deal, I'll just ignore this scene, and this scene as well while I'm at it. Because as we all know, you never have to visually show yourself following the rules you've set up in your story. Just do whatever you want as long as it looks cool, and then state something else in a live stream or wiki page that completely contradicts everything that happened on screen. I guess Alistair just kindly asked all those overlords to step down from the positions all those years ago, and they just coincidentally chose to go on vacation and never come back. Yes sir, sinners totally cannot die to other demons. Anyway, after Vaggie goes to Carmine, it takes a little convincing, but the overlord lady decides to relent and give out the information on how to kill angels. And as it turns out...
Stupid girl, are you really so dense you don't realize you're holding the answer?
Angelic weapons?
Really? Oh, fucking really? It was that simple.
How has no one else figured this out?
No, you don't get to ignore how stupid that is by playing self-aware. Alistair was able to touch Vaggie's blade in the pilot, so it's clearly not a scenario where the demons start burning up the second they make contact. So you're telling me that out of all these bloodthirsty, cannibalistic demons, not one of them, not even one of the overlords, thought to pick up one of their swords to use it against them. I don't know about you, but that would have been one of the first things I would have tried if I were a demon. And what's that, Carmilla? The weapons are not easy to come by, and those who do come by them don't think to use them against Exorcist? First of all, that's f***ing stupid. And secondly, am I right to assume that she's implying those who do come across it use them on other demons? And doesn't she herself sell weapons containing angelic steel? Wouldn't this mean sinners are, in fact, killing each other? Making the overpopulation angle very, very questionable? Fuck you, I was right. Also, Vaggie, dear sweet Vaggie, how did you not know this was the big solution to the puzzle? You were an angel that lost your fucking eye to another one of those angels, bitch. You had 3 whole years to think about this, and it never once crossed your mind that, hey, that was the first time I ever got hurt. This whole scene would have worked a lot better if it was anyone besides Vaggie who was finding out about this piece of information. Still would have been stupid, but less blatantly so. And aside from that, this whole entire finale just rubbed me the wrong way, mostly because of how painfully shallow it felt. I already talked your ears off about it in the last video, but the build up to this huge battle was extremely rushed. I was not given enough time to ever properly get to know these characters, nor did I ever get to see most of them build a bond with each other. I can't take Charlie and Vaggie's argument seriously because I don't care enough about these two as characters to be in the least bit engaged with the situation. I can't be moved by Charlie's big speech before the fight because majority of the people present are background fodder, and a few of the characters within the main cast have never even exchanged a single line of dialogue with each other. And this is a real damn shame because I know for a fact this could have been impactful and compelling for a climax, but the story just wasn't ever given enough time to properly work itself up to it. Considering how popular this show has been, I really hope they'll at least be given more episodes for season 2 because if it keeps going at this pace, I really think it's eventually going to crash and burn. I want to say I'm optimistic for the future, but I think we all know that'd be a lie. Overall, not very good.
Suddenly, life has a new meaning to me. There's beauty up above, and things we never take notice of.
I take back every negative thing I've ever said about this show.